Hi, ready? My name is Mohammed Sheikh Hassan. I am the Executive Director for Africa Service Center as well as Masjid al-Karim located in South Seattle. We are a non-profit organization advocating for the cause of the low income and from East Africa and most immigrant and refugee families.
Thanks.
Thank you. So would you like to tell me, how does your faith inform your religious community in addressing the call of injustice?
Well, as a Muslim, in fact, and every other faith that exists in the world talks about the taking care of the low, the sick, the elderly, and the needy people. We are, as a human being, we are committed to support individuals who are in that kind of situation. So being a Muslim, we are here to the cause for our needy people or entirely in other people who have really need our help. What we believe is, as human beings, we have to stand each other to help each other when we are in a dire situations, either in a famine, starvation, war, or some other natural disasters. We have to help each other. We have to become a gatekeeper for your brother. So as our faith, it's our obligation to help one another when the time we have a need.
Thank you. And how do you see the low-wage airport jobs and poverty affect the families in your community?
In fact, as a recent immigrant from East Africa, as a Somalis, I mean, it affects us. If you look at the airport, I mean, 80% or 90%, I can say, are from the immigrants from East Africans. And most of those folks are taking care of the family. They have large families, they have extended families whom they are supporting. And here in America, the minimum, they are getting a minimum wage, which is really unfair to do that. I mean, the research that they do is the minimum wage instead of Washington, maybe $13, $14 an hour. But they are struggling to get only 9.9, which is really unhealthy for all aspects. In that end, if you look at the well-being of the family, we are all interconnected. Our children go to school to each other. The wealthy and the poor, their children all go to. The healthy part of our community, if we are all healthy, our community will be very healthy. And what we are looking at is our future generation leaders. You never know where the leader come from. So these people who are really getting this kind of minimum wage, they may have children who may in turn become a future leaders. So we have to nourish for them. It's unfortunate, like corporate America may not see in that aspect. However, there's no any organization and company can be something without the manpower. And if you look at the airport, there's a lot of source and income are coming from different companies, different corporate America. But the profits they are getting from that is just because of the hard labor and these people are putting it. So in order to get a better things, I think you have to sustain and you have to nourish the people who are working in a good condition, safe environment, healthy wages, and all that aspects. But it's unfortunate, greed is the factor who's playing this big thing in our community lately.
And so do you have any, do you have any examples of the ways that the low-wage airport jobs are affecting? Like, how is it affecting?
Well, let's say this. A family of 6, for instance, a family of 6. What can they earn? The dad is working in the airport full-time, let's say that. He may earn $1,500 at the most. And how is he going to pay his rent to begin with, let alone everything else? How is he going to provide a shelter for his kids? How is he going to provide food? How about clothing? And as I said, they are all large families. So that in itself, in a title-wise, he's working, and he's not getting an assistance from DSHS, Department of Social Heritage, because of the income he's making it. Because it's a very low standard the way DSHS made it. Because DSHS said that a family of 8 or 9 may only get $700 cash. So this gentleman is making $1,500. He is not qualified to get a cash assistance from DSHS. But in the other hand, it affects the entire. What about the books? What about the detergents? What about the health hygienes? What about everything else? They can't even afford to pay the electricity, utility bills, phone bills, and so forth. On top of that, they have to support back the family back at home. Because all of us have to support, because for the last 20 years, our community, our country doesn't have any government. So those people in diaspora are supporting family back home. Every and single individual of us always support. So it is a very critical. It affects drastically to our community.
And what's one message that your organization wants to communicate to public officials about the need for good jobs and the rights for all airport workers?
Well, what I will convey message is I was so impressed when I see the support they are getting from the organizations for the organization who are really calling for the cause to have a better life for those people. Well, you have to understand that these people themselves going out and demonstrating against the unfair injustice that they have is not an easy thing, because you have to know these people came from a brutal dictator country. What is there is a saying in our countries that if you want to live longer, stay away from the government. So to them, standing up and coming out, it takes a lot of courage. I want to thank those organizations who are behind this, because to them, without those kind of things, they will never do it. One thing that has changed their mind is they never thought that they care. They never thought that people acknowledge their existence. They never thought about the other folks who are their good folks are thinking about their existence, about their wages, about their well-beings, about their healthy aspect of the environment of their working. I mean, that giving them a lot of momentum, because the way they come from, we didn't have that. Now, coming back to the government and coming back to the legislators, you have to understand that these are the people who put you in place. Even though they are getting the minimum wage, they vote. And they have a voting power. And you have been elected not for the few individuals who have wealthy incomes. Your responsibility is to take care of all of us, not few guys. So as a legislator, if your majority of the constituents are suffering drastically, I don't see why you are holding yourself back of putting these people accountable for what they're doing. We are not asking more. We are asking livable wages, a healthy environment, health coverage. That's the basic human beings. It is a kind of a human being issue. It's an existing issue. So I think the legislators have to think twice again of their actions, because everybody is responsible for his actions. They are in their office. These people are their constituents. They have to take care of them as they can take care of the lobbyists, because they may not have a lobbyist who are having a lot of money to campaign. They might not have so many people who are advocating for them, but the few people who are advocating for them are straight to very thing, because there's no resource to do all those kind of things. But I guess they have to, when they are doing the budget, they have to consider about the consequence that it had affected people. When they are passing those kind of laws, it have a lot of impact, consequence for their community members. So again, please look at the people that you are representing.
Thank you. Is there anything else that maybe we didn't cover that you would like to talk about? Or
I think I would like to talk about this airport issue is the stepping stone. I think there are so many other entities and agencies that need our attention. I think now that the people, you shed the light on the bigger issue. So once you shed the light, you can not only do one place, you have to extend the momentum to all over. And it might become a ripple effect to every, by state, by county-wise, by state-wise, and it might go to national. What now you guys are doing are quite priceless. I mean, and you change the morals of the people that you are advocating for them. A lot. I mean, they cannot really express how. As a community, they do tell us how they feel and how they express and the gratitude they have. Because without you guys, they might be intimidated, they might get to be fired or do all kind of things. But they get something that you cannot put on price on it. Because that is never, it's not something that they come to mind. As I said, because of the environment that they come from.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're most welcome.